It was late at night. I'm talking real late. Way past the bedtime of people who had stuff to do in the morning. Although Mr. Diddley-Do was one such person, he was still awake. Instead of sleeping in his bed, he was up on the couch. The TV was on, but he wasn't really paying attention. He was mostly focused on his phone. He almost didn't even notice his friend Spiritus appear on the TV screen.
Mr. Diddley-Do,
said Spiritus.
I'm here.
Diddley-Do was unamused. That's really creepy, Spiritus. He turned his attention back to his phone. The curious dynamo reappeared beside him.
It is quite late, my friend. Don't Earthlings require sleep to function properly?
Diddley-Do just groaned. I know, but I can't sleep. He looked back down at his phone again. Spiritus could tell something on the phone was making Diddley-Do sad. He decided to take a peek over his shoulder.
What is Bubble World?
Asked Spiritus, reading the words on the screen. Oh, it's a cool new social network app. Everyone is floating in a bubble, and you can connect with other bubbles and have bubble parties. It's great. But Diddley-Do suddenly got really sad. I don't have any bubble friends yet. I keep checking the app, but my friend count is still at 0, and I haven't been invited to any bubble parties. I keep thinking about it. That's why I can't sleep. Spiritus thought for a moment.
Seems like you need to practice some gratitude, my friend.
How is gratitude gonna help me sleep?
Your earthly science has shown that practicing gratitude can give humans perspective.
I don't get it.
Perhaps it is time for another adventure across space and time.
Spiritus was about to snap his fingers, but noticed Diddley-Do was still glued to his phone.
Let's leave that device behind.
The dynamo snapped his fingers, and they both disappeared, leaving the phone on the couch. In no time, they were in the machine, flying over another exotic land. Diddley-Do looked down on the choppy ocean waters, crashing on the rocky shores of a green peninsula. Wow, where are we now, Spiritus?
Today, we are in South Africa in the 1980s.
Oh, I love the 80s. Looks beautiful. Are we going down to the city by the shore? Or up to the mountains?
Actually, we'll be visiting a prison,
Spiritus said, snapping his fingers. This time, the two friends were teleported into a small, dark room. The door and window in the room were both covered with bars. Diddley-Do didn't like the feeling of being behind bars. A prison cell? How am I supposed to learn about gratitude in a place like this? Shh, said a voice in the darkness. Spiritus used his dynamo powers to light up the dark room. Not far away, lying on a cot in the corner, was a sleepy old man with a kind face. The old man yawned and rubbed the sleep from his eyes.
Mr. Diddley-Do, this is Nelson Mandela. He's a political leader who has been imprisoned for over 20 years.
Unfairly imprisoned, added Mr. Mandela. I was fighting for what I believed was right, but my opponents captured me and sentenced me to life in this prison.
Diddley-Do was confused and saddened by this.
But if you have to spend the rest of your life in this prison, then that means you'll never get to go on adventures or make new friends or have bubble parties.
What is a bubble party?
Asked the puzzled prisoner.
Who are you people?
We apologize for visiting you at such a late hour, Mr. Mandela. My friend Mr. Diddley-Do and I are just curious travelers trying to understand the nature of gratitude.
Yeah, like, how can you sleep so soundly when you know you've been unfairly imprisoned for over 20 years? I'd be pretty sore about it if I were you.
Mr. Mandela just smiled and replied.
I was at first. The people who put me in this cell took everything I had. But I realized they could never take away my mind and my heart. I still have control over those things. I am alive, and still have hope that one day I will be free and reunited with my family. That is how I sleep so soundly in this place. That is, if strange visitors would let me sleep.
Apologies again, Mr. Mandela. Thank you for speaking with us. We'll be on our way.
Bye, Nelson. I hope you get free one day. You seem like a nice guy. If you do get out of here, send me a request on Bubble World.
Nelson shrugged and nodded. The two visitors suddenly disappeared, leaving the perplexed prisoner in the dark.
What a strange dream.
Back in the machine, Diddly-Do still seemed pensive.
Will Nelson ever be free?
He asked Spiritus.
He will not only be set free, he will be elected president.
Diddly-Do was pleased to hear this, but Spiritus could tell his friend was still working something out.
What is puzzling you, my friend?
Well, I'm glad I'm not in prison, and I get that gratitude helps you get a better perspective. But I'm still bummed about not being invited to any bubble parties. How do I actually become grateful? Is it going to take over 20 years?
Spiritus smiled.
Cultivating gratitude is not always easy, but it doesn't have to take 20 years. In fact, you can cultivate gratitude in less than 20 seconds.
Oh yeah, that sounds a lot more doable. So, how does it work?
Spiritus snapped his fingers once more, and they were back in Diddly-Do's house, all ready for bed.
You can start by thinking of something or someone you are grateful for.
You mean, like, my cat George?
Precisely. Now hold that thought for 20 seconds. When you are done, think of something else you are grateful for, and hold that thought for 20 seconds. Keep repeating the process for as long as you can. Try doing this right before you go to bed and right as you wake up.
Okay, well, I'm also grateful for my mom. She was sick for a while, so I'm grateful she's doing better. Oh, and the school's got summer vacation soon. I'm grateful for that. I get to go to the beach again. I can't wait to just lay down in the sun and just relax. Yeah. That'll be real nice.
When his friend was finally fast asleep, Spiritus shut off the lights and left. The next day, Diddly-Do was a little bit tired, but glad he got some rest. He practiced the gratitude exercise a bit more. It made him feel a lot better. He didn't even think about Bubble World. At around lunchtime, his phone finally buzzed. He got a friend request and an invitation to his first bubble party.